So this is the first of the drawing to the rear techniques. There's a series of them coming up. Most of the other ones have an evasion at the beginning, but this one is a direct thrust to directly behind you. The themes of this are things we've touched on before. Primarily staying in a safe relationship to the back of your blade. If you draw completely forward as if you're doing the first of these draws, and then open your back hip, you are, or should be, entirely behind your blade during the entire course of this, so you don't stab yourself with your own point, which is an injury which, I mean, I have friends who that has occurred to from other schools, stepping backwards and hitting into their own arm. And so part of this training, especially if you do it with steel, is developing this sense, again, of being in a safe place with relationship to the back of your blade, or that the back of the blade is your safe place. And as long as you are aware of it and know where it is, then you are safe, basically, right? It's also about opening the hips, of course. So this pulling your body out of the way. You have a choice, right, of moving the sword around your body or moving your body around the sword. In this case, you are moving your body around the sword. So begin, and then the back leg rotates. And of course, the rest of the hips are moving with it, but primarily the back leg is rotating open, the back hip joint is rotating open. This is a very useful piece of body mechanics to master, because it means you are moving from the center of your body rather than your hands. And that is the other core practice that's being done here. You can do two skis with this. Sometimes I do, like forward ski, back to Kasumi, ski again, and then continue on with the kata. Or you can simply come back to Kasumi and skip the ski. I do both depending how I'm feeling. The other thing to work on, I think, at this point is the resheathing, which I suggest you work on as a kind of movement inside your torso. So here, this is kind of a movement of the back part of your chest opening, not too far, right? And then as the point enters the mouth of your sheath, opening the other side leg backwards. It's a very three-dimensional movement, and I recommend you play around with it to get a sense of how it all fits together. This whole back, like, resheathing section is not really about the most flashy way of resheathing the sword. My sensei used to resheath it in a variety of ways, often much more simple than this. But when he showed me this particular way, he was trying to emphasize the three-dimensionality of all of these movements, including ones which you could do in a much simpler and more like two-dimensional manner. Try to have at least three things moving at all times, is what he said, right? And so here in this, again, this is just to emphasize the opening of the back hip, which is very important. And you can see how the body and the sword are moving around each other. The back hip opens, the waki closes and opens at the same time. So this is mostly, I mean, it looks like a fast technique, but it's mostly a coordination of the inside of your body practice.